Alright guys, TacticalRab back again today. Hope you're all doing well and enjoying your day so far. And as the Call of Duty scene settles into Vanguard, there's loads to dive into today. We've got relatively unsurprising early tournament winners, OpTic confirming when the process is going to go live, but also Shotzzy responding to that Crimsix clip that was pretty entertaining we looked at last night. Very much intrigued to your thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed the video, hitting the like button is the best thing you can do to help this channel reach more people. Please consider subscribing as well if you haven't already. Loads I'm sure you don't want to miss over the coming days. Firstly, this from Karma, thought this was remarkable. 387 kills combined between Scump and I on this dome map. These are, I mean, they're absolutely fine. Like, these poor lads on the other team just getting completely padded into brute oblivion. Pretty impressive stuff. But, I mean, yeah, Karma and Co having a good time early on in pubs. But, of course, well, some of the issues with competitive play we're going to dive into later today. But plenty to talk about before we get to that. Firstly, from the FaZe side, this is, well, a good early sign if you're an Atlanta FaZe fan that they're probably going to be pretty good this year. The very first round that they played, Cellium gets an ace in. This is over at Castle Search and Destroy. And, I mean, they really dominated a lot of these early Search and Destroy tournaments. It's kind of crazy to really think about how good this team is, how stacked it is. We've of course been looking at like the Breaking Point top 20 players the last couple of weeks, and just the fact that where these guys stack up is just absurd, really, in terms of like the top rankings. Of course, understandable given their stats and their results, but I'm certainly hoping this year isn't as dominant a one. I think these other teams will be able to compete a little bit better, but of course, the very first day that they're doing pretty well in these tourneys, of course, is a very early doors. Of course, like everything can change, but still, it is kind of nice to look really how these early tournaments are going and how that might potentially line up with well, how things are going to develop through the rest of the year. So as Breaking Point point out, Atlanta FaZe take the 4v4 CMG Esports $3,500 kickoff tourney. You know, they take down New York in the finals. We saw, of course, you know, the OpTic guys played up against New York yesterday to well, some pretty entertaining matchups as a result of that. But I mean, yeah, FaZe take the job down. I mean, we see final bracket of the tournament right here. FaZe play against New York in the end of it, and well, FaZe win this one 2-0. They also played, I mean, as we can see here, this is a different tourney. I'm pretty sure maybe this is a UMG tourney. I don't know. There were so many kickoff tournaments going on, but they won this one as well. I'm pretty sure they won a couple of these. 1k each, they say. Maybe this is the same one that Simp is talking about, but this is an end of one of the other, well, at least one of the matches they played, which is the pistol in the game right now. Simp is always just disgusting with the pistol. This, I guess, is the rat, or whatever it's called, the rat with 2 T's. And I mean, look at this. He's playing up against Inside, so it's a FaZe versus Toronto early on, or whatever this map is called, I forget, but it's not the prettiest one, to be honest. It actually looks kind of good, but what does it say here? It's the Oasis map. Yeah, it's pretty, but I'm not sure it plays so well. But I mean, yeah, maybe you guys disagree in the comments. But yeah, this gunfight from Sim, I mean, this guy with the pistol is just completely absurd. Just guns inside off the heady. Like I don't know, this kid's trigger finger is just ridiculous. Maybe the pistols are too strong, but to be fair, I think Sim just makes them look ridiculous in every single game. But we'll talk about GAs later today. They also won another tournament, this final kickoff tourney. They won against Los Angeles Thieves plus Tiny. They were playing up against, and they won the UMG and they won the CMG just like this. So yeah, this is the tourney we won about against New York. That was the UMG one. They won the CMG. That's $7,000 they won on day one, which according to Energy is actually more than Paris won last year, which is pretty remarkable stuff, to be honest, in the FaZe clan side. But well, also there were some other duos doing particularly well, kind of as expected. A lot of people were pretty impressed with the chemistry between Envoy and Drazah early on. They played a couple of 2v2s. They win this one right here, but also the usual suspect in Ilya and Shotzzy win another one that I watched the end of live. 2v2 one and done champs with Shotzzy. So pretty cool stuff to see some of these duos kind of thriving early on in the game. But I mean, yeah, FaZe kind of maybe as expected, these first couple of tournaments go their way. But of course, all things can change. I certainly, as I said, hope that things aren't as dominant for them this year as they were last year. But I think other rosters have, well, other organizations have certainly built rosters to be able to compete in the respawn mode as well as the search and destroys. Respawn in this game is a big question mark right now, though. Wanted to mention this also from Havok, though, because a couple of days ago, we saw Washington seemingly out of the race for the 12th CDL spot. Who's going to get it? Who really knows? Apparently, there might be some announcement coming this week. I'm not really sure what's going on that front. But of course, it meant that Florida had the opportunity to bring in Vivid. They did so, and I thought, okay, they'll probably keep Havok in the team because, okay, Vivid's going to be your entry guy. Maybe you have Havok almost as like a slaying SMG. It's kind of tough to say, but they want Awakening to do that role. They're going to keep Dave, Paddy, and Skies in the team as well. And then they thought they were going to get rid of Vivid, and Havok was going to be their bench man. But Havok eventually says, yeah, I don't want to play for Florida anymore. And probably understandably so, given in a way he's kind of been screwed over here, like as has Yeez. But I mean, as he goes on to really clarify here in the replies, like this is not me just not wanting to live in Florida. Instead of moving to play online challenges at a disadvantage while waiting for someone to do bad enough to get replaced, I'm choosing to stay in Texas instead. So I guess you know, like they want him, the Mutineers guys want him in Florida if he wants to be part of the team. Therefore he's saying, yes, I'd prefer not to actually be a member of your organization, not even be a substitute, and then just play in challenges in Texas. process and do it that way, not to be at an internet disadvantage to make myself back into League. They're choosing to cut me because of this decision. I'm completely confident that betting on myself will pay off. I'll earn my spot back again like I've always done, Havok says. So yeah, after a difficult time with Florida, he's going to be down in the Challengers pit trying to grind his way back up to get a spot on a different team, which pretty ballsy decision, to be honest, right? He could take the guaranteed substitute salary or whatever, but instead he's deciding to go back to Texas. Like, Florida are going to drop him as a result of that, and then yeah, he's going to play through Challengers again to try and make another spot in the team, which hopefully when expansion comes in next year, if it does, then Havok can have a great shot, because I still do think he can be a very solid player. But of course, what this might well mean is that Florida need to bring their players up with someone back, right? And after they effectively dropped Yeez, and he got very much screwed over here, he's now potentially being signed once again as their substitutes. So okay, maybe after all things are considered, like, it's kind of like a Vivid for Havok exchange, and Yeez is still their sub. But it's kind of crazy what's happened there the last few days. This seems to be what's going on, not yet confirmed. Of course, Florida did confirm Vivid joining their team yesterday, that we did indeed look at. Let's talk about this then, right? So OpTic finally say something. It's not an announcement, but it's an announcement of Crossroads number 3, 11-8, of course, the 8th of November, and well, that's going to be coming out here on Monday. You can see that clip of Envoy, which got kind of emotional. Might end up chucking that one on the thumbnail, not really sure. What I will say here is the videography looks absolutely spectacular. It looks like Rokkr and the guys have done a phenomenal job on this. I'm sure it's going to be an absolute, it's absolutely like epic, really, of an episode. And there's been some talk about this is going to be as long as a movie. Like, I don't know how long it's going to be, but I think it's going to be at least over an hour. Like, they said this is the longest process by a margin. It might even be like 1 hour 30 or something. So I'm sure this is going to be an absolute epic video. But it was kind of interesting, right? Like, there was a lot of talk about the video, the trailer they did. I can't share it on screen because of the copyrighted audio. I definitely don't have the rights to the music like these guys do, but if you guys do want to check out the trailer, I'll leave a link down below under references. You guys might have found stuff under there before. But anyway, it's kind of interesting that I thought a lot of people expected, really, the process to be about the team, right, and how things were going. But pretty much it's a minute of Hex talking about what's going on, and he's talking about how, like, you know, like, everything's a bonus at this point. He's gonna come and, like, start lapping people and stuff. And I don't know, there was a lot of replies to this, really, on the Reddit and talk about it, because it's like, I mean, the kind of tragedy that OpTic's been through the last few years, from being such a dominant force within gaming to now being kind of, in a difficult spot where he keeps moving around every single year. And now he's, you know, emerging, I guess, with Envy, but arguably selling to Envy, and Scump and all those guys are going to go and be part of that brand. And like, I don't know how that qualifies necessarily as lapping others, especially when some other organizations are doing some crazy things right now that OpTic haven't necessarily kept up to the same level as. So it was certainly an interesting way to phrase it, let's just say. But look, I'm sure the episode's going to be fantastic. What this means for the team announcement, I don't really know. Like, is it going to come in this episode? Is it going to come as a result of it? Like, is Hex going to talk a lot about the merger here, which means that it has to be announced before this or during this or after this? I don't really know. But seems like Monday, 8th of November, that's when we're going to get a lot more information as to what's going on here. I'm sure it's going to be a banger. But yeah, certainly some interesting kind of takes and replies around this. This is kind of what Hex says to clarify two things. OpTic is forever, he says. The process is as long as a movie. That's another reason why Roger is going to win an award this year. I guess the Esports Awards in November, which is coming up very soon indeed. So yeah, OpTic is forever. So kind of saying that, like, it's going to maintain itself, that, like, through whatever means it potentially can, which you know, seems to be a merger with Envy to make OpTic still exist in that sense, because the funding was a bit of a challenge, and the relationship with NRG seemed to break down. I don't know, it's chaos. Hopefully it'll be explained quite nicely in this video. But I mean, yes, in a few days time that seems to be happening. Also wanted to touch on this then. So yesterday there's this very entertaining clip we looked at in the video last night of Crimsix clutching a nice 1v2 against Ilya and Shotzzy in this castle search and destroy match, and Shotzzy came out and responded to this after like a 15-hour stream or whatever yesterday, when he said, like, you know, Porter's the GOAT, there's no bad blood between me and him, but you know, it certainly seems by this clip there's maybe some bad blood and some beef the other way around. But Shotzzy certainly seems to be on good terms with Crimsix. Whether Crim is on good terms with Shotzzy, though, that's another matter.
Can't believe FaZe beat you guys. Ha! First of all, he's a GOAT, so don't say that. And I mean, even though what he said, like, he was talking, I don't know if he was talking, I wasn't really paying attention, to be honest with you. But at the end of the day, I have nothing but love for Porter, bro. The guy, if it wasn't for him, Clay, Kyler, like, I wouldn't be in this position today. So I got nothing but love for them.
A couple of things here to finish off the video. Firstly, this from Crone. They've added a CDL channel on Vanguard. I believe this reminds me an awful lot of what I think was in Modern Warfare, which kind of surprises me to say, because I feel like Modern Warfare just wasn't particularly well competitive. Like, you know, the competitive alignment of that game maybe wasn't the highest, but I'm pretty sure they had something like this in Modern Warfare. But anyway, there's a CDL channel type thing going on. You can see the schedule right here. Of course, this isn't actually the schedule, but, you know, like, these are the matches that are at the World Championship, for example. So you can see all the stuff in there now. Really cool. Like, this is is, you know, the fact that this is in there from effectively day one is phenomenal. And just another thing that you feel like, okay, yeah, if they're combining things across the games, it just, well, puts us in the right direction. You can see all like the CDL points here from the regular season. You guys might not be able to fully see it on screen, but this is also kind of funny, I thought. So Toronto Ultra get their own page, and for some reason, CleanX has just straight up disappeared off here, and Method is still here for some reason, even though I'm pretty sure this looks like Attach's silhouette. But anyway, like this is I feel like maybe this is Method silhouette. I don't know. You can maybe make an argument for it, but kind of funny regardless. Like still. Anyway, CleanX for some reason isn't even there. I don't really know why, but still, that is really cool. Very happy that they've decided to do that this early on. Also, this one rated. We looked at this nice 1v4 he clutched last night, but Tons says in reply, the return question mark. I wish. I know I'm a lot better than the ARs in the league. Got screwed by something outside of my control on one franchise. I guess he's talking about the Ravens that he was on for Modern Warfare, and boom, 6 years of slamming everyone straight up out the window. So he's kind of been suggesting that he actually might be making a return here to competitive, especially this tweet. It's so dumb of me to leave Warzone. Literally, it's free money over there, but I've got that itch bad to compete. I know I'd have to go through challenges, but I just want to get back on that stage, and know I can. So maybe rated make it the glorious return through challenges, kind of what Havok is doing right now. And just to finish off with this clip from Attach, there was one match particularly that FaZe lost. They were up 4-0, and then I'm pretty sure Attach and Co, the Minnesota Rokkr guys, came back and won this one 6-5 or something. And I mean, anyway, 1 versus 3 versus FaZe to start the comebacks as Attach. There's a pretty nice one here on whatever this map is called, Tuscan. That's the one. There's so many maps. It's tough for me to get my head around it at this point, but we'll get there. Very much intrigued to your thoughts on all this stuff in the comment section below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it, hitting the like button tells those YouTube gods this is a good video. Other people like you should see it as well, and I'm growing the competitive Call of Duty community. Thank you for watching as always. Take care, and I will see you next time.
I'm repositioning. One's flanking through right. One was flanking through right. One shot. Nice house him.
Me too.
Yeah, one pushed up left, so he was like on the outer part. It was Alec. He was throwing shoulders outer. Nice. Last guy. That's not Alec. That's not Alec. Thought it was Alec. Maybe I'm tricked.
Might have been like you or something.
MC was top. This guy's probably left.
Let's go, baby. Come on.
Go at you.